Okay, we are live now, Sunday, January 29th, 3:02. We are live. I'm trying to a new software, the new version of Ecamm Live on the Mac. So Ecamm Live 4, this is the new version. I'm trying it out today. And what's great about this version is that we can stream on 3 different platforms at the same time. So right now, we are on YouTube, we are on Twitch, and we are also on Twitter. So this is a test, and yeah, let's see how this works. So welcome everybody. So this is the Tesla stock analysis weekly that I do every single week, hence the word weekly. But usually I only do this for my members. So you need to be a member, but once a month, like right now, once a month I am opening it to the public, to make my channel known. Oh, Lord Penty, hello Lord Penty, you look good and sound so good. Oh yeah, yes sir, thank you very much. Hello Pater Mixa, hello to you too. Well, thank you. Yeah, this YouTube thing set up, this is a never ending chase. You can chase different cameras, different microphones, and everything. Okay, so let me just cut to the chase. So this is a live. We are going to take a look at Tesla stock. We have a lot to say. Many people commented in the comments. Many people commented. We had some haters, but that's fine. They just need to be educated. And we are going to talk about what happened with Tesla and talk about the different strategies in investing in the stock market. There are different strategies to invest in the stock market, and people are very how can I put this? They take their personal strategy personally. So, I don't want to take things personally. There are different ways to make money in the stock market. I have a specific way, a particular way that is not shared by many people. It's not shared by many people. What is the common way of making money in the stock market is the fundamental analysis way. So you look at a company fundamentally. Are they making a great product? Do they have great management? Can they execute? Can they scale? What about the competitors? Do they have many competitors? Are they good? Are they making as good of products? Blah blah blah. So this is a fundamental analysis. So people that do that fundamental analysis, and I will say that most of the people do that. Most of the people look at a stock. Well, no, sorry. Look at a company. Is it a great company? And then they use the quality of the company as a proxy, as a criteria to decide that, well, if the company is good, the stock of that company should go up. So if I find a good company, its stock should go up. Well, I don't think I have to hammer that point too much. Tesla is a great company. It's a great company. It's a fantastic company. But the fact that it's a fantastic company, Elon is a genius, Teslas are great, that does not translate to an ever increasing stock price. It's just sad, but it does not correlate one-to-one. So when this happens, some people say, well, my game is long term. I'm just going to not look at the stock chart. I'm not going to look at the stock price. I'm investing long term. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. You can do that. Then don't watch any news and don't look at your stock account, at your portfolio. Don't look at it. and just invest and don't think about it and look at it in 2030 when Tesla is going to be at, I don't know how much it's going to be. So you can invest that way. You can invest that way and you will make money. That's great. I don't want to invest that way. I prefer to trade. The word trade means a little bit more that when I'm not satisfied with the performance of the stock price, I sell and I let the stock price fall. And when the stock price has fallen enough, no, it's not even that. I never know when it falls enough. I only know when it stops to fall and then starts to go back up again. So that's my way of trading. So I don't invest. When you invest in a stock, when you're a shareholder or when you start a company, if you start a company, you own all of the shares de facto, it's yours. Then you cannot trade that company because you cannot get your shares out and come back in and everything. So an investor tends to leave its money inside a company, especially when he founds that company. But retail investors tend to confuse this a little bit. So you can invest into Tesla stock, but you have not founded the company. You bought shares from people that emitted those shares. So you are not as constrained as people that founded the company to leave your money in the company. You can take it out one day, come back in the next day. So I am just saying this to mention that investors can be maybe not traders, but investors can become people that are not married to a company or to a stock price and decide to sell at some point temporarily and then come back in at a later point in time. So for the people that want to do this, this is your channel because this is what we try to do here. And case in point, Tesla had a nice ride. It had a nice ride from 2020 to, what is the date right here? November 2021. Tesla went from, $40 to $400. So that's 10 times. 10 times. The stock price increased 10 times. So this is fantastic. That's a nice ride to take. But then since November of 2021 to not so long ago, the stock was at $400 right here in November 2021, back to, let's say, January of this year, 112. So that's almost 25%. So it came down to 25% of its value. It divided its value by 4. So people that got this right times 10, then divided by 4, it's still nice. It's still a nice profit here. And yes, it could go back up a lot. But this is not something I like to do, because I like to keep the money I made. And when I notice that the stock has begun a downtrend, then I like to get out. So basically, this is what we are doing on this channel. So we are using support lines, the green lines right here, support lines and resistance line to guide us as to where the stock is at. And stocks move in different ways. They move down, they move sideways, and they move up. These are the 3 ways that they move. And if we can spot when they are moving down, when they are moving sideways, and when they are moving up, then we can decide not to buy, at least not to buy when Tesla or any other stock is in a downtrend. So right here, so since September 21st, Tesla was in a downtrend up until right here, right here, right here. This is January. So when a stock is falling down, my advice is let it fall down. Don't get into it. Don't dollar cost average, because you think you are making a good deal if you buy here, if you buy here, if you buy here. You think you are making a good deal, but the stock is in a downtrend. And when a stock is in a downtrend, the most likely scenario is that the stock is going to continue to go down. So when you think you are buying low, oh wow, this is a good price, Tesla at $200, this is a great price. Yes, it was a great price compared to 400. It was a great price at 200, but Tesla was in a downtrend. Look at this line right here. Stock was in a downtrend. It started it here. It tried to break that downtrend here, did not succeed. Tried to break the downtrend here, but stochastic was not over 60, so this was not to be believed, and it came back down. So dollar cost averaging in a downtrend means that you are buying high. You are buying high. You can buy high and then wait a long time for the stock to get higher, but to me, I prefer to let the downtrend end and also the stock start to go up to buy back in. So anyway, this is what we're doing. Okay, let me go into the comments a little bit before we really dig a little bit deeper. Lots of comments. I like this. You know, it's a lot more fun to talk to people than just to talk to myself. So, hello Javier. Good afternoon, Khan. Good afternoon, Krishnan. Well, today, no, once a month, this is not a member-only session. So we are on the 29th. So basically, that's I'm doing the end of January, February kind of monthly thing. So I knew it was time last Friday and did bon, bingo, perfect. Nice to hear this. I actually took my account from $6 on Friday. Okay, okay. This is interesting. It paid off my credit. Bon, but okay, you seem to have a lot of success. Yeah, Tesla was a great company, but Tesla stock got hammered. Well, yes, it got hammered for 1 year, so it was not the time to buy. So yeah, there's a difference between the performance of the company and then the performance of the stock. These are sometimes related, but not always. And in the end, what counts is the performance of the stock, because this is where we put our money in and we want to sell higher than where we bought. So it's the performance of the stock that concerns us more than the performance of the company. Yes, of course, if a company is not performing well, the stock should be reflecting of that. If a company is doing well, the stock should be reflecting of that, should reflect that, but not always. So when we have a discrepancy between the performance of a company and the performance of the stock, we should focus, or we should give the performance of the stock the last word. Voilà. No, it's not a member only. This is a public one. Yeah, public one, once a month. Ask 5 fundamental guys and get different opinions too. This is what humans do, huh? So we have different opinions. How likely is it that we will see below 125 again? I don't know. I don't make predictions. I don't make predictions. I look at the movement, and when I see a bullish trend that starts, I get in until that bullish trend ends or turns back, then I get out. It's very easy actually. Well, it's conceptually easy. It's a little bit harder to implement, but we have indicators that are telling us a little bit how that works. I was buying back at 40 bucks, so I'm good. But this last year, I was really giving me an impression of Pierre's approach. Thank you. Not trading advice, obviously. And yes, Akram, you are right. With so big rise so quickly, isn't expected next to retrace down? Yes, that would be expected. But let's wait for it to come before getting out. That's my opinion. Because I could have said in here, I could have said in 2020, just right when COVID hit, April 2020, then Tesla dropped like crazy and then broke a downward resistance and then it started to go back up. So when do you expect a retracement? You can have a retracement at any point, but you should stay in it until you break a support. This is why we have these lines. These lines are telling us that this is the velocity of the move up. This is the velocity of the move up. It started that velocity of the move up in March 2020 right here. Let me show you this here. So right here, let me just move this a bit. Okay, so right here, we had a low right here, so a low March 18th, another low, a higher low April 2nd, and that allowed us to draw the expected rate of climb. I'm going to remove your comment to make it easier to see. So this is the expected rate of climb. So and to show you how these expected rates of climb, which is also called a support, are so important, because we got the expected rate of climb with these two numbers right here. You need 2 points to draw a line, and then that was holding for that whole time. And look at here, and look at it here. It was also holding May 19, 2021. Look at how it's perfectly aligned. Stocks are not making random moves. They are following the same lines over and over again. And here, they started to go even steeper. This was not steep enough. It started to go steeper. This is what stocks do. They have a support line and they dance around it. And sometimes they go higher. Sometimes they go like this and they come back down. And they do this and they come back down. So you have to make a decision. Am I a short-term trader or an investor? If you are an investor, while the stock is above this support line, you can just not look at it. And then you would have stayed in Tesla for a couple of years. But then bad things happened. Here, here, oh, we started to cross it. We cross it, came back in, okay, started to cross again. So then here we could know that things were not going to be so good. And then the stock made lower highs. Oh, lower highs. So something different is coming. And this is where we started to have a downtrend. Okay, so let me just so this preamble was for the new people here that don't know about this channel. So this is why I wanted to explain a little bit introduction and the philosophy, because it's going to help you guys understand a little bit more what what I am going to say. So okay, so this is the downward channel that we are currently in. Tesla is still in a downward channel. Tesla is still in a long-term downward channel. Let's not forget that. This is the channel that we have been in, let's say, since November 2021, when we were at 400 bucks. And we got even outside of that channel recently. We got outside of that channel December of last year. Got outside. The stock was going down so fast that that this rate of descent right here was not fast enough. So we went even faster. And now, what happened this past week or two? We were watching on this channel. I do a Tesla analysis video every single day of the week. So what we were watching is this shorter term, steeper downward channel. This is where Tesla, this is what Tesla was doing. It was going down at this linear rate. So it started here, it touched it here, and here it broke outside of it. But when we have a break of support and resistance, we like to have a corresponding stochastic value. So when we have a break of resistance, we like to have stochastic over 60. This is our way to confirm that the break is a valid break. And we did not get this confirmation when we had the break right here, November. We did not have this confirmation, and guess what? The stock did not go anywhere. It came back down. So we just waited to have a confirmed resistance break. You can look at the videos in the past. So and then the stock made what we call a double resistance. So sometimes the channel is going to be respected, but sometimes a channel will not be respected and it will be crossed. But this is kind of a head fake, and we can spot that among other things with stochastic over 60. Then this is kind of a double resistance. So now we need to check the second one, because the first one, we have been played once. We have been played by the stock. Well, not played because we were looking at stochastic, but played in the sense that we broke the real channel, but the channel expanded a bit. So a double resistance is kind of a channel expansion. It's a channel expansion. So the next time the stock tries to break the original channel, well, we can be happy a little bit. But you know, we need to be wary that yeah, maybe this is another thing like this that is going to happen. So once we had this break of the first channel, I'm going to call it that way, on January 9th, that was okay. That was okay. But you know, we did not start to use the trumpets and everything, but you know, we knew that okay, we might be stopping our descent. So this was one positive sign. And at the time, I was talking about the concept of de-risking. So if you want to invest in Tesla, the worst risk you are in is when you are investing or trading or buying Tesla when Tesla is in a downtrend. When Tesla is in a downtrend, you are buying the most risky thing in the world because it's going down. So buying into a downtrend is the worst thing you can do, because a trend means that it will continue that way. It will continue in that direction. So the worst thing, the worst time to buy a stock is when it's in a downtrend. Then when the stock gets outside of the downtrend, you have de-risked a little bit. So it's less risky to buy at that point. It does not mean that it's going to go up, but it means that it stopped going down. Then what we are looking at, once we see a stock break a downward resistance, we try to find a horizontal resistance at that point. And then there was one right here at 125.43. So that's the horizontal resistance. Because a stock can stop going down, but could continue to go sideways and then keep going down even further. So what we do here is that after we have a break in downward resistance, then we are watching for a horizontal resistance. So 125.43 was a horizontal resistance, and we started watching it. So we had a break here, and then the stock went sideways, and then whoops, the stock break the second downward resistance because it's a double resistance. So we said, okay, well, this is good. You know, it broke the first one and it broke the second resistance. But the stock could have continued like this for months. And then at some point, it will decide what it's going to do. Is it going to go down or up? So fortunately, and we did not know in advance, we don't need to know in advance. We just need to observe and see how the stock reacts and decide to jump in if it reacts the way we want. So we broke this second downward resistance, and then we kept going sideways, and then on January 17th, boom, we broke 125.43. And the concept here is that a resistance at 125.43 means that people did not want to pay more than 125.43 for Tesla stock. Nobody wanted to pay more than 125 for a certain while. And then all of a sudden, people started to pay more. So that's a change in behavior. That's a change in the behavior of the herd. So by plotting the stock price, we are plotting the behavior of all of the investors and traders in the world. We are plotting their behavior. And when we spot a change in behavior, that change in behavior usually lasts. It usually lasts. We don't know how long it's going to last, but it's going to last. It's not one individual that decides to buy at a higher price. There's momentum behind that. There's volume behind that. So there's many people doing that. It's not only one person. Technically, if one person would buy Tesla at $200 tomorrow with a what's it called, the limit order or stop order, then technically that would affect the candle, but maybe they are doing things so that this does not happen because people would do such a thing. So anyway, so and let me finish this, and then I'm gonna go to the comments again. So January 17th, we broke that. So broke this horizontal resistance. So this was okay, wow, something is different. Something is different. This is de-risking a little bit more. So the first removal of risk was the first downward resistance that was broken. Second downward resistance was broken, was another risk being taken out. Then a horizontal resistance has been broken. So that's another risk that is eliminating towards this goal of us buying at the beginning of a bull trend. So some people bought, so okay, let me just backtrack a little bit. I get excited because I'm passionate about this stuff. I like this. I do this every day. I love this. So some people could have bought right here outside of this second downward resistance. You could have bought there, but then there was a little bit more risk that you don't make any money because the stock could have done this. Then when it broke the 125.43, then you could have said, oh, I'm de-risking even more because now we are breaking a resistance. So this is a de-risking a bit more, but we did not get stochastic over 60 yet. But we still de-risked 3 things: 2 downward resistance and 1 horizontal one. It's not nothing. It is something. And then a couple of days was spent. So 1 candle here, 1 candle here. This candle here was very important because it did not close below 125.43. It went below 125.43 during the day, but then whoops, it was pushed back up. So people were buying it out. People were buying it up and did not let the stock drop below 125. So this is people's behavior that was there. And then what did happen? Then after this candle right here on Friday the 20th, then we got stochastic over 60 right here. So if you were checking Tesla during the day and at 20 past 20 to 4 at 20 to 4 on Friday the 20th, you could have said, well, okay, this is going to close green. We are going to get stochastic over 60. I am getting in right now because we have de-risked pretty much everything we needed to de-risk. If you were not there on Friday, then on Monday, it started to go up like this and it closed there. So you could have gotten in, even that next day at 143. Yes, so getting in at 143 is not like getting in at 103. But when you are at 103, you don't know that it won't go lower. You have no clue. You don't know it won't go lower. And a bunch of people got screwed that way because they thought, well, okay, well, Tesla is at 205. 205, this is so low. It's bound to go, it's bound to come back up. You cannot make those predictions. You cannot make those. Oh, at 205 I'm gonna buy it, it's so low. Well, it can go lower. And then some of the same people said, okay, well, now at 180, of course at 180 it's gonna go up. It's so low at 180. And then it went lower. And then it went lower, and then it went lower, and then it went lower until it became horizontal. It was horizontal here too. So if a stock stabilizes horizontally, it does not mean that it's going to go back up. It does not mean that. It means it's going horizontally. That's all that it means. So yeah. So where was I with this? So it's impossible. Okay, I'm gonna say it. It's impossible to catch the ultimate low without being lucky. It is impossible. It sounds great. It sounds great when you do, but I'm sure that those people that pretend that they have bought at 103, first they are lucky and they don't tell us when they buy at 259, 205, 179, 157, 124 before they bought successfully at 103. So what I am trying to teach you and do is to have a system to predict. Well, not predict, because I don't know when it's going to happen, but to notice a significant move in the market that is going to last. This is what I'm after. I am after changes in the market, a change in direction in the market that is going to last. This is what I'm looking for. And I just noticed that I erased one of my supports. So basically, yeah, so this is why I called on one of my videos last week. I said, okay, now Tesla is a technical buy. We have everything. We have, the downward resistance, the downward diagonal resistance, and downward means it's diagonal. Downward resistance, horizontal resistance, stochastic over 60. So there's still a risk. Each time you put money in the stock market, there is a risk that the next day Biden is gonna say something. Now, I don't want to get political, but that somebody is going to say something bad, or that Russia will do something that will scare the whole world into, well, in fear of a nuclear war, and then the stock market drops by 20%. This can always happen, and even this technical analysis stuff that I'm doing with all my nice lines and my indicators cannot predict that. In fact, I am not predicting uh, much in the future. At this point, this will happen. I don't know, but I see a significant change in people's behavior regarding Tesla stock. And when you have a significant change, it's rare that things just go back the other way. It happens, but it's more rare. So this is why here on this channel we try to be systematic, and this thing that I'm talking to you about, with this downward resistance and the horizontal resistance, and we break these and stochastic over 60. You can take any stock, and do the lines, and you will see the same thing right here. 2 points, it was going down like this. It was going down, we broke it, and when it breaks it, you find a horizontal resistance. So this one, I did it last time. You could have taken this one here. We had some tops here. So you do this one and you say, okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit, boom, 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 and then it broke it. Yes, sometimes there's a little bit of an error here, but then it started to go back up. We had stochastic over 60, and then it went up. I did not know at that time how far it was going to go, but I knew that this is a significant change in direction. It should continue this way. Okay, so I think I spoke a lot. So let me go to the comments a little bit. Okay. I was buying back at, okay, where was I grabbed 25x calls, out of the money calls when I was getting ready to push, and was risky, but I knew it was going to run. C'est ça. Lord Penty, yes. So once you see that the stock is turning, then you can decide to do whatever you want to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just analyzing the stock for you, and I am telling you, okay, we have de-risked a little bit more. We have de-risked everything that there is to de-risk. So then you can do what you want. You can buy one option at $500. That's not a lot of money. You can buy 100K worth of Tesla stock. You can you can buy out of the money options. You can do whatever you want with that. So Lord Panty, you seem to have made money with this. I'm not talking about myself, but with what's happening with Tesla, great. Okay, so yes, we could be expecting a pullback at some point. Let's look at this move right here that we had last Friday. So we had a great move last Friday. After the earnings call, we had a gap up. Boom, the stock went higher. But this was not a super great day in terms of the day itself. It opened quite high, but then it stayed pretty much in the same range. So to me, I interpret this as, uncertainty. Oh, is it okay that I'm doing this? Blah, blah, blah. But what I like a little bit more is what happened on Friday, a green candle. So a green candle means that we opened at this price and the stock went up during the day. People got in, and got the stock back up. And look at the volume that we got on Friday. 306 million shares exchanged, and not too long ago we had an average of 80 million shares exchanged per day. So I'm pretty happy to see this. But yes, we could have a pullback, but now we have something to guide us. We have this this support line. This is a support line. So this is the bullish trend that we are in right now. So this is the same concept as what we had here. This is a bullish trend. So technically, you can buy at any point you want. But if you are a little bit more long-term oriented, you should stay in it until we break that support. It could go, here it went on for 2 years almost. And yes, sometimes it went super high, but you can buy at this point. You can sell at this point if you want to and let it go down, because it always comes down. It goes, it goes like this and sometimes, but it comes back down, and you can decide, if you want to sell when it goes so far away. You can decide to sell and wait for it to come back. You are entitled to do whatever you want, and that would not be a bad decision. Or you can just wait until we break the support. So this is what I mean. So now we have supports to base things to. So if we have a pullback to this point, that's still okay, because we have support here and we could be doing anything like this. So yes, we could be pulling back here, but nobody knows what is going to happen on Monday. Nobody knows what is going to happen next week. I don't know, and nobody knows. You just have to decide what your risk level is. So and everybody has a different risk level depending on your net worth and depending on how much money you have riding on this trade. So we could be, we could be doing many things. We could be going like this, a little bit even higher, and then pausing a little bit and then coming down, or going back higher. There's a bunch of things, and you just need to decide when you want to get out, if you want to get out. So to me, okay, we have this downward support that's important. This downward support is important because, as I mentioned, Tesla is back into this downward channel. This is a channel and it's doing this, and we overextended ourselves a lot, and now we are just coming back into it. So from a technical perspective, the major resistance to break is right here at around $300. So it's really possible that we reach $300, depending on when we, how fast we go up. We could reach $300, I don't know, in April of this year. This is not a prediction. This is just this is part of where the stock could go, but it could also stabilize a little bit on this horizontal resistance that we have right here. So there is a decently important horizontal resistance at 156. So at 156 right here we have a support. So we have a support right here. That is also important. So if we go back lower than 156, that would not be a bad place to take some profit and get out and then see what happens next, because at 156 was also our candle right here. So 156 is a decent support that you can decide to well, as a stake in the sand, but it could still go higher also. Okay, let me continue here. But thank you, Lord Penty. Random, you become a member. You first need to join this channel, and then you will see a join button. And then depending on what you want as a service, then you can decide the amount of money you want to spend. Okay, is it worth trying to trade to accumulate more stock while waiting for the stock current to increase when in a loss? Is it worth trying to trade to accumulate more? My personal opinion, this is my choice. I never dollar cost average. When a stock becomes in a downtrend, I get out. I have no patience. I don't have the patience to watch my holdings go from $400 a share to $100 a share. I don't have that patience. And why do it? Well, first, you need to wait until you have really gone out of this bullish support here. So as a matter of fact, you could have gotten out at 288 or 313. Getting out at 400 is hard to do. It's doable, but you need to almost trade every day. But it's possible to get out here. But at worst, you get out after we get outside of this support at 288 or 300. It's still a lot better to sell at these points than to watch your stock go down to $100. So technical analysis, depending on how you do it, because you can do it in different time frames, but you rarely catch the peak and catch the ultimate low. But that's okay. It's not perfect, and it's okay, because what you are going to catch is a more probable trade, a trade that has a higher chance of going higher. And when you dollar cost average within a downtrend, the most likely scenario is that it's going to go down. So in terms of risk and reward, dollar cost averaging in a downtrend is really bad. It's really bad. But everybody says, no, this is what you should do, because most of the people, even the people on TV, on CNBC and everything, they don't understand trends. It's sad. It's sad, but they don't understand trends. And when we are in a downtrend, the stock is this is like a boat. This is like a boat. If a boat goes in one direction, it's going to be hard to make it turn, because it will tend to continue that way. It's the same thing with stocks. Okay, so I answered that one. Some technicians use cycles in addition to trend line. Do you consider cycles, or you think trends is always needed? Yeah, I don't use cycles per se. I think trends is enough. Trends are clear enough. If you look at this, this is clear and precise. Clear and precise. So, I guess knowing trends would be nice, but I don't know how to do trends. Cycles. Thank you very much, Akram. Any signs of reversal? I sold covered calls at 145. Okay. Signs, no. There's no signs yet. I don't predict, and there are no signs. This is a green candle. We stopped we stopped here. You know, just another example to tell you that there are no random moves in the stock market. We stopped Friday at 170, no, just a little bit above 176.73. Why there? Well, because we had a support in the past right here, and we broke it, but this is where we are kind of stopped. So 176.73, it would be nice Monday if we continue a little bit. Then the next stop is going to be 198. So, you know, we could be pausing. And then there's some resistance. There's some horizontal resistance all the way at 226, at 229, at 242, at 255. So these are all levels, psychological levels that the Tesla stock needs to break. So you could argue that since we broke 176 something here, then the stock is free to go to 198 easily. But stocks have harder problems when they try to break a resistance. But here, since it broke 176, which is this resistance right here, which is now support because we broke it at 177, then the stock can freely go to 198 easily. Freely go, because it does not need a change in perception in the people's mind. Because in people's mind, 198 is a milestone, 176 was a milestone, we have 156 that was a milestone, 137, 125, 43, 108. These are milestones, and in between those milestones, it's a lot easier to move. Okay. Now, so signs at 140 expiring, no signs yet. Monday, Tesla is probably gonna crater. Well, this is a prediction. This is a prediction based on, I don't know what. You might be right, you might be wrong. Has there been a previous time where stock rallies this much from the bottom only to go even lower lows? Could this be just a diet? Well, if it's a fake, it's gonna have to cross this upward support. It's gonna have to cross this. So if it's a fake, I don't care. I'm gonna sell and let it fall down. That's it. But I still will have made money here. And if I sell Monday, I will have made money here, but I won't do that because I don't see a change in trend. So I don't care if it falls down in a week or two. I don't care at all. I just have to sell at the right time because it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be clear. It's gonna be clear. We are going to break supports, and our stochastic is going to go below 60. So it's fine. This is a different way of thinking about the stock market. This is a different way of thinking. I don't even need to know the price of the stock. I just need to know that it was going this way, then it started to go this way, and then it started to go that way. Okay, I'm gonna get in, whatever the price. And then it should go up. And at some point, it's gonna do this. And then it's gonna do that. And then I will decide to sell. And I will catch this low high. I will catch this and pocket it. That's it. We don't need to think in advance. Tesla is going to be at $200 in next year. Okay, maybe not. And what if it craters between and then goes to $60 in the meantime? Well, I don't want to be in if it craters to $60 in the meantime. It's a different way of thinking, and yeah, that's it. And I'm not trying to push this on you. I'm not trying to put this to push this on you. I'm just trying to show you another way of doing things, and if you don't like it, that's fine. You can continue to do it your way, and I'm gonna continue doing it mine. I don't mind. James, react, don't predict. And the algos. Well, the algos are impacting the stock price. That's a good point. The algos are impacting the stock price, but the algos have rules. If this, do this. If this, do this. And the rules are shown in their behavior. Well, like here, at 108, the stock did not go lower than 108 much, except that day. It did not go much lower than 108. So there was a rule somewhere that said, well, if it goes lower than 108, buy. This is what creates support. It's those rules. And people have rules in their heads, and algos have rules in their code. Even though it's code that might not be written by a human, it could be some AI code, some AI, yeah, I guess we can call it code, but it's not really code. We are observing. This is like a weatherman. So I am doing like a weatherman. There's a big cloud coming in this direction. So there's a good probability that we get rain in 3 days, because if the cloud continues in the same direction. And if you look at the trends that we have been having, like here, from September 20th, this was the direction of the stock for 4 months. 4 months, the cloud was going in the same direction at the same speed for 4 months. That's pretty solid track record. Pretty solid. Here, June, July, August, September. June, July, August, September. 4 months. 4 months in a row, the stock was going in the same general direction. Yes, it did these little things that are insignificant. So if clouds were as constant in their direction and speed as trends in the stock market, I think the weather people would have a much better track record. Much better track record. So this is pretty constant. And in fact, I'm going to tell you guys, I am amazed myself. I am amazed that we can just draw a line and the stock will remember that line for months on end. Months. It's going to remember that this is where the line is. This is crazy to me. I will use that information, but this is crazy. This is super crazy. So you can become a member by joining, and there is a join button. Well, I guess you need to subscribe first. I'm not a trader, rather a long-term investor, but I really enjoy your perspective with the market being so influenced. Okay, fine, Wendy. You almost well, this is great. Yeah, you can be an investor. I don't mind. I like you nonetheless. You are so right, but it can still go lower, and you know how fast control. Yes, Tesla can still go lower. Tesla is a very volatile stock. I'm going to give you that. It's not the easiest stock to trade because it moves a lot. So yes, there's some risk there. If you want to find another company that's less risky, you can do so, of course. NIO. I failed all the way down, but sucked. But I watched and learned, and once I knew it was going to happen, I pounced. Yes, you need to use stop loss and then you lose money again. You can use a stop loss. Yes, you can use a stop loss in case the stock goes in one direction. Tesla is known to is really known to gap down too. So right here we had the congestion zone, you know, and we broke outside on the Friday. So that was a sign. This was a sign, you know. It was just above. What is it? There's a few lines. So 259, I think, or 266. It closed below. So the time to sell was sometimes, so yeah, because Tesla gaps ups and down, gaps up and down. Sometimes it's better to get in or get out on Friday 5 minutes before the close. If you see that, okay, no, it looks like we are going to close below, it's sometimes better to act on Friday, because the Monday it's going to be so up or so down that you are going to suffer a little bit in your profit. So I'm going to give you that. Tesla is not the easiest, but which stock can do it a 10x in 2 years? So you know, yeah, there's some upsides to this. I believe after all last year, the long game at low entry is the best way to survive. The long game at low entry is the best way to survive. Yeah, you can enter in installments. Yeah, you can enter just a small, with a small amount of cash, and then come out of and then put more afterwards. Tesla can do a moonshot now, has done that in the past. It could. Since it has stochastic diversity on almost long-term frame, seems quite strong. So as yes, yeah. I like that, Lord Penty. I knew what it was doing at that moment. So since it had stochastic over 60 on almost all time frames, it seemed quite strong. So I was willing to take the risk. Bingo. How do I become a member? Subscribe and then click the join button. Yeah, usually you wait for a pullback. It's true that people say this. People say this. With Tesla, you can wait for a pullback if there is one. See, when we broke 125, that was a decent break. We had the pullback there. Boom. It continued. And here we can say we had the small pullback here. So, you know, I think we have had a couple of pullbacks after we started to go higher. So yes, we could still get another one, but sometimes we don't get one. Sometimes we don't get one, and it just launches, or we get one a little bit higher. So if you care about pullbacks, then just invest just a little bit less on the initial run, and then put more once you have your pullback. That's a way to play both ways. Well, long-term bull trend. Okay, if you are talking, Roland, about a long-term bull trend, yes, I'm going to give you that. I don't think it's a long-term bull trend per se. We need to look at the weekly chart to see if on the weekly chart it's a long-term bull trend. And no, we don't have stochastic over 60 on the weekly chart. So the weekly chart is not super good yet. And to get a long-term bull trend, we need to have all of the charts going good. So I'm gonna give you that. This was a very steep move down. So this is a steep move up, and we could be stopped by this resistance right here before the 300 I was talking about. This is a less important resistance, so maybe 236 depending on when we hit it. We could be going back here, going there, and doing something like this. There's a bunch of things that can happen, but we don't need to see that far. Right now on the daily we have a momentum, so we can ride it, and when it stops, then we can just readjust and wait for it to start again. And if we go on the monthly chart briefly, yeah, the monthly chart is not good yet. There's no stochastic over 60, and this is where we are at. So, you know, from a monthly chart perspective, you know, we could be doing something like this for a while before we cross this, but it's okay. Any conclusion or theory related to the increased volume? Well, the theory is that buyers thought that Tesla was so low that they just wanted to get in. So I don't know why, but there's definitely a lot of volume. So people are accumulating Tesla. That's the only thing I can say, and I'm fine with that. The stochastic on the 1 hour chart is like a rocket fuel gauge. The higher, the better, it seems. Yes, let's look at it. Yeah, stochastic at 93. Super strong. The sold covered calls at 144. Let them go and sell puts to get your shares back. At present, in overbought zone, do you think it could move up? Yes, this overbought zone, yes, on the RSI, it's overbought. It can stay overbought for some time. You know, it was overbought right here. Friday 29th, it was overbought. Was it overbought right here? Yeah, okay, well, it did not do much, but it stayed overbought a little bit. So that's not a good example. See this one here, overbought. Yeah, I spoke. Watch my Monday 27th video. I spoke about this. Here, Tesla was overbought. It was overbought at 260. Well, I think it was $800 at the time. But now, because of the splits, it's at 260. So at 260, it was overbought. Boom! Went from 260 to 400. Still overbought. So overbought is nice, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not a reason to sell. You just let it ride. Let it ride. Let's ride, as I used to say, let's ride this pony to the horizon. That's a figure of speech. At present, in overbought zone, okay. Is there a way for us to download your existing TradingView support? Yes, my friend. I have a tier. If you become a member, I have a tier at 29 something, and then you get all those lines, and you can copy them in your chart. And when I change them, you need to copy them again. You know, they won't mess up your thing, but you can copy from them every day if you want to. Lots of shorts piling on into Tesla with stops over. Tesla shorts will make Tesla fly. Well, let's hope. Let's hope. Thank you, Dale. Please post this. Yes. This is going to be recorded. This is going to be, well, this is being recorded. This is, yeah, so it's going to be available. I think it's available right now, actually. If Tesla starts a downtrend, there is a technical sell. Is it a good idea to buy Tesla for that downtrend period? Yes. Yeah, it's like shorting. Huh? Can you please explain the green and red bars on the right hand side of your chart? Green and red bars on the right hand side. This? I think these are my support lines and resistance line. These are the colors. And yes, I should do a better job of, you know, every line that is above the current stock price should be red. Every line below should be green. So if we had an automatic feature on TradingView to do that, that would be great. I can put the line myself. In fact, I need to put the lines myself, but make them change colors automatically. I would love it. So basically, this is just the expression of the horizontal lines color. All goals are a joke. They steal pennies out of trades and they don't add up too much. Okay. We have the Fed on Wednesday also. Sure. I think you are a Tesla expert analyst. Thank you. You can wait for a pullback, but you'll be too scared to buy. It's true that a pullback is scary because, oh boy, it's going down. Just joined today and missed the starter. Could you repeat what you use for the next 6 weeks? What you see? I don't see anything for the next 6 weeks. I see a trend. I see that we are in a bullish trend right now. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I won't sell until that trend stabilizes and then comes down. What other company charts do you follow? Can get to see? Well, no. I used to, I used to have this service on Sunday like this. I would say to people, because my time is worth something too. I do Tesla because I like the company, and I do technical analysis on that company anyway. So, it's not that, it does not take that much time for me to just record a video every day because I need to watch that stock chart every day, and it does not take that much more for me to do this on Sunday also. But to do other stocks, it's not worth it for me. It's not worth it for me. I tried a little bit. I even said to people on a live, tip me $10. I'm gonna do other stocks analysis on the fly in 2 minutes. People did not want to do that, so it's not worth it. Yeah, it's not worth it for me. So I don't do anything else, because it takes brain power. It takes, I was going to say, if you give me $1,000, I'm gonna do one for you, and I'm gonna send you the video. But below $1,000, it's not worth it. So you have February 13, 195 calls, and March 160 calls. Well, yeah, I like your March calls. Well, we are in a bullish trend. So if it continues, 195. Okay, let's do this. This is one other advantage of doing the support lines. The support lines give us a velocity. So we have here MB Buns that is telling us that he has 195 calls when in February. So 195. So where is 195? It's right here. In February, it's February 13th is right here. There. So you see as well as I do that how can I put it? So if you want to choose your strike price for options with the expiry date, follow this. So if you want to buy a call with expiry in March, do it at buy a call at 191 or lower, because that's that's the that's the velocity of the stock. So you can use that line to guide your expiry date and your strike price. That's the beauty of this. It's really a beauty. And you can use your resistance line as your covered call, strike, and expiry. You sell outside of it. Yeah, sometimes you get the one candle outside, but maybe it's gonna come back in, you know. But this is what it should do. So you can use those lines to make better option decisions. This is why technical analysis is really important for option pickers too. You need to have something like this. If my share were called away at 150, would you wait for it to break that upward or to buy back? That at 150? Called away at okay, so you sold some calls, I guess, at 150. Would you wait for it to break that upward horizontally line in order to buy back in? To buy back in, okay, so yeah, so okay, this is allowing me to say something I think is important. Is the best buy signal is the earliest buy signal. So you know, when we had the buy signal here at 5 minutes to 4 on Friday, this was the best one, because this gives you this amount of profit. Now if you are not in Tesla and you want to get in, then that's another story. That's another story. I would tend to wait for a pullback. Because right now, you know, it's just parabolic. It's super high, you know, it's parabolic. So it could continue, but it's a bit more risky. Yeah, that's how I'm going to answer that one. Yes. But buyback. Is there any data on short coverings last week? There must be, but I don't have it. Can it cross 200 before? Well, yeah, let's do it. 200 before February 17th. February 17th, can it cross 200? So let's use this one. 200 February 17th. This is here, crossing 200. Trying to do both things at the same time. So here. So you want the stock to be above this at this date. It's still within the realm of possibilities, because the stock started to be in this channel. You see, we started in this little channel, and now this is what I call changing gears. So now it's into this channel here. So yes, if it continues, it's possible. If it's outside of that one here, it's less likely, but at least it would be a continuation of the current trend. So oops, sorry. It's possible, but I don't have a crystal ball. But at least it makes sense with the continuation that we are having. Welcome, BDR. Tesla had the most options traded last week. Ah, really? Wow. Prognosticator. I like this word, prognostic. Yeah. I don't predict, but I diagnose what's there. What other company chart do you follow? No, I don't do anything else. It takes too much time. Those are all the support and resistance lines. Well, yeah, if you get my member tier, you get everything. You let your member know as soon as Tesla shoots out. Well, my members watch me every day, so they know every single day what happens. Question: Would you buy a Tesla? Yeah, I don't have one, but yes, I would. I would buy one. There's some problems in the winter, and I'm here in Quebec, and we have lots of snow and stuff. So, but yeah. Okay, so 1 hour and 20 minutes. This is the most I've spoken. I think I've covered pretty much everything with all of your questions. I appreciate this. Let me go to the VIX a little bit. So I'll try to finish this in the next 7 minutes. So VIX is the indicator that tracks the volatility of S&P 500. When the VIX goes down, the stock market goes up. So we are into a downtrend with the VIX. So we like to see this because we like to see this in the VIX because we like to see this in Tesla. So and we were scared here. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to come out of this downward channel. It wants to come out, but no, it did not. See how it trended that perfectly. Yes, it bounced a little bit on 1846. So I watched this too. I watched this. So if we start breaking this downward resistance, so this will put a damper on the stock market. So you know, we can do stock analysis on this as well as Tesla, so that we can see the two should be pretty much in sync. So we are watching that too, and we are. Well, I stopped doing those. I think I'm gonna do every single day the Tesla videos and then the VIX briefly, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and everything. I did a separate video for Nasdaq and Dow Jones, all of them together, but in terms of the views, it's not worth it to do that. So I stopped. And Dow Jones, so Dow Jones was inside the downward channel for 1 year. It came out of it. It came out of it, and now it's into this big congestion zone. So it's going sideways, so at least it's not going down anymore. S&P 500, look at this. We just broke outside of the downward channel. That's good news. So when the indices are going in the same direction as Tesla, this is helping the whole market. So so we are just outside of this here, and now we need to look at the next horizontal resistance, which is this one right here. We have not broken it. We tried during the day, but we could not. So we don't know if we are going to come back down here or try tomorrow. But once we break for S&P, once we break 4073, this is a SPX, then that's going to be a milestone that will tell us that way maybe then we are going to reach this resistance above here. So it's nice to have the stock indices do pretty much the same thing as Tesla does. And here, you know, Nasdaq Composite, we were into this big downward resistance and we broke outside of it. This is where the downward resistance was. We broke outside of it and we broke the first horizontal resistance right here. Boom, we had stochastic over 60. Yes, now it's going. Now it's being stopped a little bit at 11,674. 11,674. So this is still a resistance, but you know, if we break 11,674, then Tesla should be continuing also, because you know Tesla is also influenced by the whole market, not only its company itself, but you know it's influenced by the stock indices and everything. So let's hope that it goes. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you very much, Devon. If you had to venture a guess, do you think Tesla pushed? A guess? I don't need to guess. I don't need to guess. We are in a bullish trend, and the trend means that it should continue that way unless it breaks it. And as I mentioned, when there's a trend, it can last for months. Here we had 3 months. This is June, July, 3 months. So, and sometimes it lasts just a little bit of time and it's not really a trend. Well, yes, it was a bit, but I don't know. And I don't know, and I don't, I'd like to, but I don't care that much, because if you got in at the right moment, you have a big buffer here there of paper profit. So shorts haven't covered at all as far as I know, so they are overconfident. Well, the shorts might be helping us. They will have to cover at some point, and that might propel us like crazy. I just bought Tesla on Friday at 167. 167, that's pretty close to where we are now. But I would not hold it below 556, because we have a candle here, we have a candle here, so we might be doing this just a while. Whoops, sorry. We might be doing this, and this is not financial advice, but we might be doing this and then bounce on this support. So you should at least wait. If you want to sell, you should wait below 156 or below this one, depending on what's your level of risk that you can take. Yeah, the resistance are there written: 198, 205, 226. I'm trying to determine where I should be extra. Where I should be. Yeah, these are all the numbers there. So guys, thank you very much for attending this. This has been great. I can't wait to see how how many people watched me on Twitch. This is the first time I do that on Twitch and also on Twitter. So it's going to be interesting for me to look at the stats. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for attending this with me, interacting with me. You can become a member of my channel. You can subscribe to my channel at least, and you can like it too. And so I'm gonna be there every single day of the week, not with a live, but with a video. So have a great and next Sunday is gonna be, well, the next 3 Sundays are going to be member only Tesla weekly live. Member only. It's only once every month that it is public like this. If not, it's member only. So thank you very much, guys, and I'm gonna tell you à la prochaine. Goodbye.